We'll be creating this micro interaction effect. The home, when you hover, it changes states, and when you click on it, it changes states as well and does a little dancey thing. Same with the categories. When you hover, it changes states, and then when you click on it, it changes state as well and does a little dancey thing. Same with the search. So today, in this lesson, this is what you're going to do. Okay, so we are going to create a copy of all these. You're going to create instances. You'll be creating instances of all these icons, because we want to recreate everything we created here. So the first thing will be to create an instance of the home icon. To do that, hold Alt or Option and click and drag away a copy. You can also choose to create an instance by going to the Resource tab under the Components section and then select your home. So you can choose to work with whichever one works for you. Okay, great. The next thing will be to grab the category, an instance of the category component as well. Now grab an instance of the search, then grab an instance holding down Option or Alt, drag away your copy. Holding down Option or Alt, drag away your copy. Okay, so now we have all our icons. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to separate. We're going to detach these instances from the main component. Why are we going to do that? Because we are going to recreate the component we have here. Okay, so to do that, make sure all the instances are selected and right click, then select detach instance. Once you detach instance, the icons become independent from the component. Now they're on their own. So we're going to, next thing I'll do is I'll rename them so that I can differentiate the new components you are creating from the old ones. Great. Okay. So the first icon we are going to work on will be the home icon. If you don't have the font, you can just change the font. And just replace them. Okay, let's make this a semi-bold. Okay, so with the home icon, you create more distinct spaces between them. So we're going to tackle the home icon first. What you're going to do is we're going to create the hovered state of the home icon. So let's duplicate our text and label our hovered. Okay, so to do that, you select your home icon. Either press command to do that, you select your home icon, press Command D, or hold down Option and drag away your copy. Okay, let me rename this to great. So hold down Option and drag away your copy, or use Command D to create a duplicate. So with the duplicate selected, I'll click on the home icon, then I'll go to my layers tab, layers panel. In the layers panel you can see the outline, icon outline, and you can see the icon fill group. The hovered state we won't need to display the outline icon, so we'll just turn it off and then click on the rectangle, the drop down icon here, click it to display the other layers in this group. And then once we have that, the icon fill, we'll select the icon fill and then click on the eye icon to display the hovered icon. So this is the hovered state. Now let's create the clicked state. To do that, we create a copy of our icon again. Once again, hold down Option or Alt and drag away your copy, or you can use Command D. Okay, so with our copy selected, we'll go to our layers tab and then click on our icon fill group. Under the icon fill group, you realize that there's a max group and the icon fill. This time we'll click on the arrow beside the max group to drop down the further layers in there, and then we'll select wave, the wave element, using the shift and the top arrow key or up arrow key. We'll move this thing like so. Okay, so now our layer is filled. So with a clicked interaction, we actually want to do a little dancey animation. So after our layer is filled, we have to create the slide dancey animation or the slide rotation. To do that, we create another copy, click on the icon again, and this time we rotate it slightly to the right, create a duplicate once again, rotate it slightly to the left, create a duplicate once again, and then switch it back to its original position. Great. So now we have all our various states. We have the defaults, the hovered, and click for the home icon. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to create the component set for this. For that, we'll select all the frames of the home icon and then move to the create components icon. Beside that, you see the drop down arrow. We'll click on that and select create component sets. Great. Now we have our components. So the next thing we'll do after creating our component set will be to create the interactions. So the first thing we'll do is we'll select the first variant. Once you select the first variant, you realize that the edges, anytime you hover over the variant, a little circle appears on the edges, and anytime we hover over the circle, we get the plus sign. So from that, we'll drag it onto our next. Make sure that you connect it to the next variant and not the wavy element. How do you know that it's connected to your next variant? So to know that if it's connected to the next variant, you realize that there is an outline, a purple outline or a violet outline. Great. Once we release our connection, we get the prototype setting. In this case, you are going to use the while hovering command trigger. So we select the trigger menu and then select while hovering, and then we change the animation type to smart animate. The duration is okay for us, so we'll leave it at that. We want to test out our animation, so we'll press F to create a new frame to be able to test out our animation on. So and then we'll select the variant, press option and drag to create an instance. Okay, so to preview, we'll select this new frame and press shift spacebar. When we hover, you realize that the hover is actually working, so we're good to go. We can continue. Our next thing we're going to do is we're going to create the click interaction. To do that, we'll click on the hovered state and then drag a connection to the click variant. Once we do that, the prototype setting opens up. This time we're actually going to use the on-click trigger, but then we'll change our click duration. We'll set it to 1500 milliseconds. Great. Once we do that, after our icon is filled with a shape, we want it to do a little wiggly wuggy. So to do that, we drag the connection again. This time the trigger we're going to use is an after delay. We want it to delay for 100 milliseconds, but then the duration would reduce it to 400 milliseconds, and the same will apply for the rest, but the delay difference is going to be 40 milliseconds instead of 100 milliseconds. Great. So now we can test out our animation. We select the frame, press shift space, and then we realize that the hover interaction works. When we click on it, the click interaction works as well. Great. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to create, let me shift this here. We're going to create the hovered state for the category. So once again, using the option drag, we'll create a copy, and then with the icon selected, we'll go to the layers panel. In the layers panel, you realize that there's an icon fill group and icon outline. So we'll just click on the eye icon beside the icon fill group and click on the eye icon beside the icon outline to turn off the icon outline. Great. So the next thing we're going to create is to create the clicked state variant. Once again, we'll go to the layers panel with our copy selected. We'll go to the layers panel, go into the marks group, click on the wave element, and then move it upwards to fill the shade, the icon with color. Great. It's not well filled. Great. So now we'll create another duplicate. Once again, I'll switch to design tab, create another duplicate once again, and this time we're going to do the little animation. So to do that, first we'll turn off the icon fill so that it doesn't interfere with our animation, and then we'll create another copy to start our animation. So to do that, another copy, select the icon once again, click on the drop down beside the icon marks, the first rectangle, we'll increase that to a 32. Second rectangle, we will decrease that to 20. The third will decrease it to 20. Then the final one will increase it to 32. Great. So we'll create another duplicate and switch the directions of the animation. So first one 20, second one 32, third one 32, fourth one 20. Great. So we'll select the category once again and create another duplicate. This duplicate is to return the animation to normal.